and the All Indiana Podcast Network. This is the News 8 Daily 8 Podcast, a Wish TV News 8 update.
Hello, I'm Jeremy Jenkins, and this is your News 8 Daily 8 Podcast for Tuesday, June 24th. We begin with world news. President Trump now claims the ceasefire between Israel and Iran is once again in effect and says the countries will end attacks that appear to have started again today. Trump posted the claim on social media after the ceasefire he announced yesterday appeared to be falling apart. Before he made that social media post, the president spoke about the new fighting as he left the White House for the NATO summit in the Netherlands. Trump says both countries are to blame, but the president seemed to be pointing more at Israel.
In all fairness, Israel unloaded a lot, and now I hear Israel just went out because they felt it was violated by one rocket that didn't land anywhere. That's not what we want, I'll tell you, and I'm telling you, I'm not happy about that, Israel, either.
Israel claimed that Iran launched new missile strikes, while Iran said that Israel continued attacks past the time designated by the ceasefire. Professor Hussein Banai, an expert on the Middle East from IU Bloomington, says it's almost impossible to know exactly what is happening on the ground in the region.
The extent of violation of the ceasefire terms is something that is we cannot verify because we do not know what the terms of the ceasefire exactly were. And I think this is one of the perils of forging a ceasefire by tweet, as the President of the United States seems to be doing.
Professor Banai says it's too early to tell whether Israel or Iran will stand down after today's renewed fighting. Here in Indianapolis, police have arrested a 16-year-old boy following a shooting on Monument Circle. Police say they found 3 people shot around 2 yesterday morning. All 3 were stable when they were taken to hospitals. Yesterday afternoon, IMPD announced the team was being arrested for unlawful possession of a handgun by a minor. Police have not said whether other arrests might be forthcoming. Prosecutors have charged a former assistant track coach at Ben Davis High School with having sex with a 16-year-old girl on the track team. Online court records showed the 26-year-old Harrison Goss is being held without bond until an initial court hearing tomorrow. Prosecutors say another team found text messages from the coach on the girl's phone and reported that Goss was having sex with the student. The Marion County Prosecutor's Office filed charges against him last Friday. The Sheriff's Office says he was arrested yesterday. Wayne Township Schools confirms Goss has been fired. Funding cuts are putting a program aimed at helping more young people graduate from high school at risk. My teammates Cody Fisher reports.
It showed me that I could actually be more than what I thought I could be prior.
Sam Harris was in the Jobs for America's Graduates program back in 2010.
Where do you think you'd be without the JAG program?
Honestly, I don't know, because I wasn't even sure if I was going to graduate at the time.
And now?
I have a bachelor's degree. I have a master's degree. I was in the Marine Corps and the Army. And now I'm finishing up in the next 2 days. I will be graduating and becoming a deputy.
Mike Robinson is a former JAG mentor and manager. He also wrote a doctoral dissertation about why JAG was successful. He described the types of kids the program helps.
Disciplinary issues in the past. It could be drug abuse in the past. It could be that parents didn't graduate. It could be that they're in a foster placement.
Robinson tells me the Indiana Department of Workforce Development had successfully run the program since 2006. 45,000 kids have gone through it. According to the state's website, 97% of students graduate. In 2024, students got more than $20 million in scholarship money, while 84% of kids had a positive outcome from the program. During the last legislative session, the funds for the program were cut from the Department of Workforce Development.
It makes no sense on any level, not on a budgetary level, an education level, or, what I feel most specialists would say would be a human level. Because again, we are talking about young people that need help.
How much are we really talking about?
My understanding is $8 million. That's it.
Robinson says losing the JAG program could have severe consequences on the lives of the kids it helps.
If they end up not graduating, it's going to have a massive cost on our society down the line. And that's a real possibility. Incarceration rates among those that do not graduate are exponentially higher. Usually the national average show 50 to 60% higher than those that do graduate.
Reporting in Indianapolis for IT Man, Cody Fisher for Wish TV and WishTV.com.
Let's talk sports. Pacers star Tyrese Haliburton is out of surgery and sending a message to fans. The Pacers confirm Haliburton suffered a torn Achilles tendon during the first quarter of Game 7 of the NBA Finals. In the new message, Haliburton says he had surgery in New York yesterday to repair it. There is no word yet on how long it will take him to heal. The Pacers are heading into the offseason with a big question at center. Should they re-sign longtime fan favorite Miles Turner? The 10-year veteran averaged 15.6 points and 6.5 rebounds this past season, and he remains one of the most popular players on the roster. Another player with an expiring contract, Thomas Bryant. The former IU standout joined the Pacers in a December trade. He became a key player off the bench, averaging 7 points and 4 rebounds a game. When it comes to the weather, Storm Track 8 says we are in for another hot day. Meteorologist Ryan Morris has your News 8 Daily 8 forecast.
90 degrees again for today. It's more of the same. It's almost Groundhog Day.
Yeah.
Just 90s and the heat index value getting into the triple digits. How about our temperature already? We're up to 82 here in Indy, 82 in Kokomo, 85 in Muncie. Feels like heat index in Indianapolis is already approaching 90 degrees with the humid air we have locked in place, not going anywhere. Heat alerts out. We've mentioned this multiple times. Heat advisory for central and southern Indiana until Friday. Extreme heat warning for the northern third of the state. That's going to run basically until Friday as well. Sustained winds, it's not helping out much. Only about 5 to 10 miles an hour if you're lucky. Calmer elsewhere, and those winds are going to be holding with that wind speed and direction for today. Live look at Cicero, 83 degrees. You can see the American flag blowing in the wind. Lots of sunshine expected for today. But as we go into the afternoon, could see a couple spotty downpours, primarily north of I-70. Shouldn't be too widespread. In fact, I have most of us actually dry. The heat index gets into the triple digits for today. Air temperatures in the low to mid 90s. Temperature for this time of year is about 8 to 10 degrees above average. 93 here in Indy, 84 is our high, 93 in Kokomo, and 92 in South Bend. Overall, temperatures holding well above average, basically not only through today, but into the end of the week as well. So weather headlines, extreme heat continues. The only difference we're seeing compared to some of the last couple days is daily storm chances. It's not too widespread, not an organized system. We do have a more organized system that should be on the way early next week that could bring finally some relief to the area. I'll have more on these weather headlines coming up in my full forecast.
To get a peek at Ryan's full forecast, just head over to wishtv.com, or you can download the Wish TV Storm Track 8 app. And don't forget to check out our Storm Track 8 weather blogs. Well, speaking of the heat, a lot of people are powering through this heat, including landscapers and roofers. We talked to some of them about how they're handling the high temps and staying cool. Raina Revel reports.
Before the sun is even fully up, crews at Rosie's Garden and Hughes Landscape Center are already battling the day's biggest threat, heat.
It was hotter earlier last year. Definitely noticed that. We've had a lot more rain this year, so that has changed things as well. But this heat this year came on fast and kind of out of nowhere. First day of summer was the first day of summer.
Crews at this garden center are cutting hours, taking more breaks, and chugging water nonstop.
We just check in with our staff often about hydration. We now have a building that's air conditioned, which we didn't have in the past, so this is brand new. We try to make sure people are taking breaks, getting cool.
Once employees are done watering plants twice a day, manager Emma Hughes starts sending employees home for the day to recover. She says at this time of year, business becomes slow.
The heat like this in Indiana, the business pretty much drops off. People do not want to shop in this heat. They also don't want to garden in this heat. They want to be sitting on their porch with a lemonade and enjoying the summer.
It's a similar story on rooftops across Indiana, only hotter. Rooftop temperatures can climb well above 120 degrees. And for crews with a hammer in hand, that makes the job a health risk.
You know, I've done this for a living prior to me being a general manager, and I know firsthand that you know, you get focused on the job and you lose sight of the fact that that you aren't drinking enough water. So my feeling is if you're filling the signs, it's probably too late.
For Bone Dry Roofing, it's important to keep their employees safe. When the heat rises this high, every drop of water and every minute in the shade helps make a difference.
I would just ask that people understand that they are going to look outside and see guys taking breaks.
Reporting in Indianapolis, I'm Raina Revel for Wish TV and WishTV.com.
This has been your News 8 Daily 8 podcast for Tuesday, June 24th. I'm Jeremy Jenkins for Wish TV and WishTV.com.
This is the News 8 Daily 8 podcast, a Wish TV News 8 update on demand. For even more, on demand and on the go, connect with Wish TV on Facebook at WishTV.com and on the free Wish TV mobile app. Thank you for listening. And be sure to like, subscribe, and follow this podcast for updates every weekday morning on the All Indiana Podcast Network and wherever you get your podcast.